Dropping like the narco. Got dope like Pablo. Cut dope like Pablo. Chop trees with the Draco. On the north got Diego. Say hasta luego. We'll be in rapping kilos.
Hey there, welcome back to the show. Today on Blunders by Behemoths, we're going to look at how a behemoth in the auto industry committed a fatal blunder that led to two of the largest recalls in automotive history. To truly understand the effects of the actions of Toyota, we're going to need to go on a journey together into the past, so buckle up and hang on tight. Now I'm fairly certain we all know who Toyota is, right? And what they produce. It's hard to imagine a manufacturing error quite as bad as this, but it happened to Toyota in 2010. An unlucky combination of manufacturing errors turned the selection of Toyota's most loved vehicles into a runaway steel death trap. Toyota is a whale in the automotive industry, and yet they were responsible for two of the largest automotive recalls in the history of the US auto market. But what exactly happened? How did they slip up? And more importantly, what did they do to rectify the situation? The recall crisis of Toyota began with an automobile accident in Southern California back in 2009, when a runaway car couldn't stop due to constant acceleration and a lack of brakes. Ever since then, there have been more questionable accidents and two of the most major recall campaigns in US automobile history, even a suspension of sales in new vehicles that causes dealers a minimum of $54 million. But the question remains, how did a simple yet deadly manufacturing error lead to a complex ethical scandal for one of the most successful automotive manufacturers?
Before we delve deeper into the issue, we will need to talk about a few of the key terms that'll pop up in today's journey. They are as follows. 1. A recall. A recall in the automotive pretext is when a manufacturer or the NHTSA determines that a vehicle, its equipment, car seat, or tire creates an unreasonable safety risk or fails to meet a minimum safety standard. 2. The NHTSA. The NHTSA is short for National Highway Transport and Safety Administration. 3. DOJ, short for the Department of Justice. 4. Throttle is another term for the gas or accelerator pedal in a car. 5. Torque converter, another word for the gearbox or transmission of a vehicle.
Let's talk about responsible business. It is defined as the act that essentially benefits society and addresses the negative impacts it might have on said society, people, and the planet. The purpose of a business is not only to earn profits and expand its reach, but it is also to create a positive impact on society and to also ensure sustainability. It is important for a business to conduct itself responsibly to ensure a stable source of revenue, maintenance of goodwill, and undergoing acts of social good.
It is common for companies to make mistakes during production. Although there are attempts to limit them from time to time, a slip-up here and there isn't new information. But there is a problem when companies understate the sheer fatality of the defect and lead consumers into believing the situation is not as dangerous as it sounds. This type of damage mitigation can lead to terrible outcomes. Now, Toyota has been open about how their manufacturing process is undertaken. They claim that their method is proven to be the beacon of reliability and craftsmanship. Their philosophy on design and production are what set them apart. One of the main principles of Toyota Production System, or the TPS, is Jidoka, which translates to automation with human touch. The way Jidoka works is that every design, every process, every component starts off hand-built. Think about that for a second. Toyota engineers build each part to the exacting standards until it's perfect. Then automated assembly slowly gets incorporated until the engineer can be entirely phased out of the part. Then and only then does it become the part of the full production line. Principle number 2 is called Kaizen. Kaizen is a Japanese philosophy that promotes change for the better. The idea is that it's always worth it to change something to make it better, even if it slows down the process. Now I know that sounds like it flies directly in the face of what we just talked about, but here's how it works. Any employee at any level of manufacturing process can stop production if they see an improvement that can be made or a problem that is occurring in the assembly. The assembly stops, the team evaluates the issue, makes some necessary changes, and then restarts the production at Toyota. Toyota has found that many problems with assembly are caught long before the car goes to the market. When employees have the freedom to raise concerns, they do. The team can work on the best solutions together. And as employees get more comfortable with that, they solve problems earlier in the process, therefore saving money on retrofits and recalls. Ironic, isn't it?
Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the story. It all started back in 2008 when the first known batch of faulty vehicles were produced. Some of the models affected included ones such as the Toyota Avalon, Lexus ES350, Lexus IS250, Toyota Tundra, etc. The reason that even Lexus vehicles and some others were included in this list is because the production facilities manufacture all these vehicles. This is because Lexus is a luxury subsidiary of Toyota. They share parts and hence can even be made in the same production plant. The whole host of problems were caused by the throttle. Have a look at the issues that sparked an estimated $5 billion loss for Toyota. It's also worth noting that this had a 38.7% mortality rate. The exact cause of the defect was different for different vehicles, causing further confusion. Let me explain. In most of the cases, the all-weather floor mats had become lodged under the throttle, jamming it into the floor. The first recall was announced due to the apparent entanglement between these two. In a few other cases, however, the gas pedal would simply stick down and refuse to return to the initial position. As we can see here, when the pedal is depressed by the driver, the floor mats have a tendency to move along the forced direction. The initial solution propounded to this problem was to lock down the carpets to the floor using zip ties, or remove them altogether. A more permanent solution was later introduced by Toyota that decreased the size of the throttle pedal so that even if the mat could move, it wouldn't affect the pedal's ability to return to the initial position. Now I know what we all are thinking. Yes, this is a horrible turn of events, but where exactly lies the ethical questionability in Toyota's actions? And what about the social ramifications? Well, here they are. Besides the fact that the manufacturing defect claimed the lives of a few and compromised many, they weren't exactly above board with all of their dealings. There were numerous reports and articles that claimed individuals within Toyota's management knew about this issue but chose to move on with production regardless. CNN, a popular news outlet within the United States, chose to exacerbate one of them, wherein claims were made that the Toyota management knew about a certain issue in their model, the Camry. It was proven otherwise, as investigation concluded that a miscalibrated torque converter would surge ahead from speeds of 38 miles an hour to 42 miles an hour. A simple recalibration by mechanics would fix the issue, and thus proved that it had nothing to do with the unintended constant acceleration faced by the masses.
On March 19, 2014, it was announced that Toyota and the US Justice Department had reached an agreement whereby Toyota would pay a $1.2 billion criminal penalty in exchange for deferred prosecution of wire fraud charges. The agreement also subjected the car company to further independent monitoring of its safety procedures. The penalty ended a 4-year investigation in which the Justice Department concluded that Toyota had intentionally hid information about its safety defects from the public and had made deceptive statements to protect its brand image. Attorney General Eric H. Holder Jr. said, "Other car companies should not repeat Toyota's mistakes. A recall may damage a company's reputation, but deceiving your customers makes that damage far more lasting. This penalty is the largest ever waged against a car company." Toyota misled US consumers by concealing and making deceptive statements about 2 safety-related issues affecting its vehicles, each of which caused a type of unintended acceleration. Toyota had a complete disregard for the safety of the public, and when media reports surfaced blaming the company, they denied all rumors only to take the blame later. They even went as far as to blame the victims of unintended acceleration by insisting it was the driver input or the previous case of floor mat issues. In conclusion, they lied, tried to cover it up, and eventually they paid the price.
To this day, Toyota has been trying its best to compensate those affected and settle any litigation that persists within the court. It has now been over 10 years since the last set of recalls in this matter, and they have continued to fulfill their promise by ensuring safety as their primary priority while maintaining their rebuilt social reputation. The company cannot restore the lives that were lost, but it can try to make other amends in society.
Thank you all for watching. Tune in next week for our Thanksgiving special. Take care, and we'll see you soon.